One of my experiences when it comes to take research to business or research towards business is that to have someone to talk to. So you discuss things and bounce back and forth ideas, and this we often lack. Maybe we have a team, but we also need other perspectives. So then one useful way was to form a small group. And we had one which started more than 10 years ago, and we met every 3 months and discussed our cases, or sometimes we had an invited speaker talking about something, IP or whatever. So that was a way to learn when I was in my early days of entrepreneurship. And the good thing was that we always had something to discuss, and it was a close group, so we could feel comfortable. It was not any presentation or anything like that. And then we just talked about things and bounced and shared ideas. And this is a very useful way to do. And we can actually do this openly with our impact cases. So if we have research, then we need to show the impact and describe the impact and what they will do, how to contribute to the society. So this part is central for actually motivating your research, so people will believe in it and hopefully fund it. And this is similar for the business case. When you take the research and translate it to business situation, there will be investors or funding agency of your starting company when you apply for money and so on. And they will ask, what are you doing? Are you doing something sensible? What is your expected impact? What difference will you make with your research towards business? And how does it differ from other ones? It's not only the market and the financials, those are of course important, but you need to make a contribution. Something which the researcher can provide to someone who invests their money into it. That's why I talk about the impact part of things. And when we had a small group and we discussed and met every 3 months or so, or sometimes a little more often, or we had a lunch together, then we discussed the different things. We were a small group discussing things, and we learned and matured our things, and someone commented on something which I discussed or presented when we were sitting there, and then I learned from this, and then I modified my pitch or my presentation, so my understanding. So this group was very useful. This is what I will do in this research to business, and we will now start to have exchange in a systematic way, or more open way, international way. And that is why we will start the international workshop on research to business. It will be workshops which are fairly small, so we can have the discussion and exchange and say things and have discussion. You cannot have discussion when you're 50 persons or 100 persons. You need to be few persons to discuss and exchange, bounce back and forth, and that matures the discussion and the motivations. So the international workshop on research to business is intended to be in small scale, but we'll do this often, so it will continue. So in such way we can participate several times if we like, but we can present our case. And what we will do is that there will be some 10 minutes pitch presentation. This is my case, this is the impact, this is how I'm thinking, boom. And then the participants, they can ask questions about this. How are you thinking there? Have you been considering these things? And so on. So 10 minutes presentation, and then about 15 minutes about question and answer, feedback from the people who are participating. And when the next speaker has their 10 minutes, the first speaker can also comment. So then we're forming a small enough group and we can discuss these things. So that's the purpose of International Workshop on Research to Business.